Welcome to the Rustic Garden. Today I want to give you an update on the grow light box that I built, and I'm going to talk about lighting, the amount of light, and watering. First thing you notice is that I have the top slightly cracked. That's because I just watered my seedlings. Let me show you what they look like, and I'll talk about that in a second. So this is what's been going on. Over here are peppers, and only one's come up. Peppers take a lot longer to germinate. These are my tomatoes. These are cucumbers, and down in there are oregano seedlings coming up. These are chives, and this is cilantro that's not germinating. I think I just had a bad batch of seed. First thing I can tell you is this is too many cells in here. The light is pretty bright. It concentrates nicely. Let me just give you a quick look at it. It's going to change, but the light's pretty bright. So the light's doing what it needs to do. However, keep in mind, and I really wouldn't start cucumbers in here normally, but that was just for an example, and I used them in another video, is that you're using a grow box. You've started a lot of plants. They're all going to have to get transferred into these cups, and you have to make sure you know where these cups are going to go. You've either built more of these grow boxes or you're getting rid of some of the plants. But the light really concentrates right here. So this is where you want your seed cells to be, right in the middle, even though it does reach out here. So seed cells go right in the middle, light right over them, and they germinate really nicely. Now when you water this, you are dealing with electricity. Do not fill the bottom up with water. Do not pour water on top of them. What I did basically was I just get it flat like this. This was filled up with water. It actually had some liquid fertilizer in it. I take everything out, let it sit in here, absorb what it needs. This way I'm not mixing, splashing water over here with electricity. That's a bad thing, and I don't think I need to tell you why. So once that's done, you put them back in there. And when you put the lid on, because there's a lot of moisture in there, just leave it slightly cracked like that for a day or so, so some of the excess moisture evaporates out. In this model, not so much, but in another model that is a failed model that I might do a video on of why it failed, the spacing for the sides was just too low, and water condensed all in there, and that's just a bad thing. Now lighting. People ask me, well, how long do I leave the lights on? First thing is 10 hours is probably too little, 16 hours is probably too much, so I would recommend 12 to 14 hours of light being on. Now it's basically, you unplug it, you plug it in. That can kind of be a pain in the butt sometimes, so I do recommend getting a $10 timer. It would go right on here. You plug your grow light right into the timer. You set it for about 14 hours, and this way it's going to turn off and on for you. You don't have to keep coming down. That's one thing that I recommend. The other trick that I do is you want your plants to get a lot of light as soon as they break the surface. So I keep an eye on these more closely in the beginning, and when the tomatoes started breaking the surface, when the cucumbers started breaking the surface, for about 2 days, I left the lights on for like 16 to 20 hours. A lot extra light. And then once they come through, they look established, and I just went to, about every 14 hours, every 12 hours. Now, the reason I can't give you an exact time is because people are going to have different strength bulbs, they're going to have different seedlings in there, and the light varies. But you can't really go wrong with giving them 14 hours of light. Hope you enjoyed the video, got some ideas for lighting, got some ideas for watering, especially around safety. Please check out my blog at www.therusticgarden.blogspot.com, and also check out my YouTube videos. Thanks.